Bernie, you've spelt the title wrong. It's supposed to be Blood on the Box. Unfortunately, the Blood on the Box has been cancelled for today due to I got a message this morning. Basically said he couldn't do it. So unfortunately, the way I'm doing it now, we time tight. Obviously, I'll have a guest come on. If they pull out, then I'm sorry, guys. I ain't going to chase up trying to find another guest. I am snowed under with work and various other stuff. So basically, we was going to have the Nuffle Shuffle show on anyway. So basically, that just makes it a lot easier for me. So we're going to bring the Nuffle Shuffle show forward, and then after the Nuffle Shuffle show, I'll have a drink, and then I've got my Xbox playoff game with me Underworld against some Elven Union after that. So yeah, it's going to be fun, but. The great thing is, though, this is going to be an amazing show. This is going to be like two shows boiled into one anyway. My guest today needs no introduction, but I guess I better give it one anyway. It is the Great White Shark, the guy I pinch all my one-liners off. Calcium Cats. Now then, buddy.
How you doing, man? Mate? How you doing?
Oh, this is going to be a show and a half. Well, it's better be a show and a half because we've lost the Blood on the Box today. So you're going to have to, bring your A game as always.
I'll fill in the gaps.
Gaps. Absolutely. Fill in the gaps, definitely. Well, let's get on with it. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. Gimlick Fest one in here. I love Gimlick. we have.
I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not loving Gimlick this season because he's kicking my ass. Honestly.
Oh man. Yeah, but do you not think? I mean, you'll probably say no, but do you not think sometimes it's a bit of a consolation when you have bad dice or you get your ass kicked? It's from a guy you like, sort of thing. One of the good guys. Does that help, or are you just like fuck it?
Yeah. You're right. I don't like Gimlick, so no, I don't. I do. He's all right. Yes. I don't like him when he beats me. He's a class player. So when you lose against good players, it's a little bit more tolerable than when you lose against a scrub, innit? So
yeah. But I just think you should have a rated 18 on the show this week. We usually are all right, but I've got a feeling this could get absolutely out of control. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I think there's plenty of F-bombs and everything coming in this week. So anybody who doesn't like bad language, anybody who is not got thick skin, I would not watch this week. Anybody who wants controversy, crazy shit, anything what usually Calvin Cast does, then stay tuned because he will not disappoint. We've also got an exclusive as well. What we'll show up later on. It is a big exclusive. Well, I think it's a big exclusive. It's not been mentioned yet, and we will address that later on. So there is plenty to go through. But first of all, we're going to go to the boring bit, pole position. Basically, I don't even know who is top of the league. Let's have a look. It's your friendly Elven Union, the Powerpuff Elves. Well, I know I know you know a lot about these guys. 19 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. Now, quickly tell you about Teddy Tom. Obviously, Teddy Tom's, aka the Mystic Ted. He's a great guy. He's tried so many times to try and get to the playoffs, and he always seems to fall at the last hurdle, or someone just does enough to pip him. But surely this is the season he is going to the finals. Has to, surely, with a 19-2-3 record already.
I can't see another Elven Union team getting anywhere near that.
No.
Teddy Tom this season, I've played him twice. Mm-hmm. And I was lucky enough to turn him over the last game we played. The first game, he done me 3-1.
Yeah.
But the last game, I busted him up both games. But his team recovers so well. This Teddy Tom at the moment, right? I think pound for pound is probably playing the best Blood Bowl this season. He is ultra aggressive with his team. I mean, ultra aggressive with this team.
Yeah.
And he's, go into his history, Bernie, and have a look at some of his results. It is friggin' insane. They are cricket scores, for God's sake.
Yeah.
But he's got a stat freak catcher that is just tearing it up. Look at some of those results.
6-1.
6-1. So I beat him the previous game, right? I beat him 2-1. And I kick his teeth in as well. So what does he do? He thinks, do you know what? A nice recovery game. A 6-1 recovery game. That's madness, isn't it? But on that one page alone, another 6-1 against the Burners, a Chaos team, which was clawed up. 5-0, 3-1, 3-1. it's just, yeah. Do you know what? I'm really impressed with Teddy Tom this season. He's playing superb Blood Bowl, and he's ultra aggressive. He doesn't, he'll throw his elves into it. He'll, and he's playing with 11 players as well. He's got no margin of error.
That's hardcore, 11 players.
No margin of error. It is proper shit or bust Blood Bowl.
Have you seen that catcher? Have you seen his bloody catcher? He's got strength up now.
I almost killed that catcher. He was an Apo away from death. I ripped him, and Teddy's obviously saving his Apo for that one player throughout the game. Every other player's expendable. I was an Apo away from ripping that player, which was really disappointing because I wanted that skull on my shelf. Do you know what I mean? So, Teddy Tom is. The elves are tearing it apart this season. Boys in the Wood as well. Mellow Gold.
He's been playing well.
Done meat. Yeah, he's been playing really well. He had a bit to say in the chat afterwards when he one turn touchdown me, and and again I've got a bit of history in Mello, but stripping away my personal opinion of the guy, he's playing exceptionally well. So I think those two teams deservedly are 1 and 2 spot, and I think everyone else, Gimlick is obviously, we mentioned Gimlick anyway, but Gimlick is playing really well. So actually, I think the top 3 spots does legitimately represent the top 3 coaches in this season's Champions Ladder. I think it's a really good reflection on the way they're playing. Gimlick and his Necros. He's a Necro coach anyway.
He is. He's Necro. He's Necro through and through. I mean, he can play other races, but it's a massive loss for him to lose his movement now. Though let's I mean, he's going to play to get through that. But obviously, like we were saying yesterday, everyone else will be extremely happy that he's not got that threat anymore because it's hard to take on with just normal wolves, but to face him with a crazy thing like that. And I think his other one's like a Mighty Blow, bloody crazy. In fact, I'll go and have a look at his team.
Blow, Mighty Blow, Blodge, Mighty Blow, Tackle, Jump Up. And Claw Pom, Claw Pom as well. So he is a freak, and Gimlick's really careful. He doesn't frenzy trap himself. He plays really, really smart. I think he's got a couple of Mighty Blow whites as well, with one with Tackle. But look at that. Look, he hasn't got Tackle on the werewolf, but it's Blodge, Claw Pom, Jump Up. That is a freak. That guy is gonna make a mess. Honestly, I'm loving it. I think Gimlick needs more dirty player. I would love to see another zombie with dirty player, just to give him a dirty player game. But you can't fault that team. It's amazing. And he's every time I've played Gimlick, I think I played him twice this season. I think I've lost both actually.
Yeah, he does have a good record against a lot of coaches. I know I'm on his hit list because I'm one of the coaches he's never beaten. I don't know why. It's just pure luck. It's beginner's luck, luckily, sir. But obviously, I knocked when he was current champion. I actually knocked him out with my wolves. We had a Necro. But as I said to him that was his fault. He'd been talking up that he'd be Necro v Necro in the first round, and it happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm tempted to go Necro this season. I have that thing with Necro where it's not my favourite team, but every time I played them twice. I got to quarterfinals where Tripp absolutely nuffled the shit out of me, and he went on to win it.
Right.
And then what people would say, and we're going back a few seasons now, when Resno's Skaven basically ripped me a new one in the semi-final. He came on and said that's the worst Nuffle I've ever seen ever. And all I did all day, all game, mate, all I rolled was ones. Double one, GFI, double one, everything. So, when you get games like that, you can't even be mad because it's like, well, there's nothing I can do. It's just the way it is. So, I've got a good record with Necro. I don't know, it's just not my favourite team, but you can see why. Because I've spoke to Gimlick before, and he loves them because you've got your 2 wolves, so you can make them if you get a double. Potential killers, obviously, he's had 2 doubles there. And they're very quick. You've got your ghouls, you can, I mean, he's a bit like me. He likes ghouls with Blodge. Sidestep, diving, tackle, they're always good. You've got your 2 whites, what you can, you can basically have Regard, Mighty Blow, and then you've got your 2 golems, what stand firm. You get blodged on them, they're a pain in the ass. And then you've got your cheap zombies who can foul and do everything else. And if you kill someone, you get a zombie. Fantastic. So you can see why they're good. Necro's good.
I think Necros are probably one of the most balanced teams in Blood Bowl because they got cheap expendable players, they got really great positional players. regen more or less across the board, which is just amazing, and they got a mixture of speed, hitting power, access to claw palm. They've got it all really, and give that kind of team to a player like Gimlick, and he's doing the business. He's doing the business. I'm really impressed with Gimlick. As I say, the top 3 coaches on the ladder at the moment, I'm so impressed with them this season. They are really, really, playing quite different teams, but they're tearing it up. So it's actually making me reassess who I'm going to qualify with this season, because my Chaos are imploding at the moment.
Yeah, your Dwarfs would be better suited to taking on Elves as well, I suppose. I'm just having a, because just to be fair to Melagol, I'm just looking at his team. If we're going to look at the first 3 teams, then we'll go on. One thing, two things I've noticed about this. The first thing, what's major, is his tree. I freaking killed this tree and he yappoed it. He got movement, so that means before, a lot of times when I go after a tree, I'm thinking if I knock him down, it's a 50-50 chance if he ever gets back up. Now that's not a problem. He can just get back up, and obviously he's got a movement 9 catcher as well, only armor 6, but it's still alive. To me, I mean, he's got 2 Mighty Blow War Dancers. That's not bad. I'm not too bothered about that. Strip Ball is obviously pretty useful. I look at this team, and I know he's lost players, but I look at this team, I'm not scared of it. I'm looking, it's very vanilla for me. It's not. I like the tree. That'd annoy me. And the movement down piece, that would have to die if I could. But it's not. When I've looked at the other, I just don't know. I think it's more the coach has just played so well with them. He knows how to play them, and it's just been fantastic for him. And again, Melgold's another one. He's another one what doesn't always qualify. So he's another one. He has qualified before. But he's not a continuous qualifier. But again, he's gone Elves, like Teddy Tom has gone, and they're both ripping it up. Absolutely ripping it up. 14 wins, 5 draws, no losses. Nobody has beat him yet. So that is right. An amazing record.
I should have drawn against him. I threw it away. The perfect defense. I actually reset on a perfect defense, and I thought I'd done enough. I honestly thought I'd done enough, and do you know what? I hadn't. I've only got myself to blame. So he got some good dice to get the 1-turn touchdown. You always need good dice.
You do though, don't you? Yeah.
Because he didn't have a natural 1-turner, but it was entirely my fault. And I actually I've had him blocked for a while. I think I've unblocked him now because I don't like blocking people. I like to know what they're saying, frankly. And I do know that straight after the game he went in and give it the big bollocks in chat, like he'd won the final or something. But which is fine, isn't it? Hey, live by the sword, die by the sword. Sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and and take it on the chin. And but yeah, I'm really as I say, personal feelings of Mellow Gold aside, he's a really, really good player, and it's reflecting in his number 2 sort of status on the Champions Ladder.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've just done really well, and it's good to see because usually, like we will talk about obviously the UC later on, but we've seen them dominate last season, and also now we've got 2 guys who they're not newbies, they've played it for a long time, but it's quite new to see them up there, and they're ripping it up, and it's good to see other coaches. Because that says to everybody else, hey, look, it's not all about the big, well-known coaches. There's us here as well. We can do just as good as them, and they've done brilliant. Giblick's always there or thereabouts, especially when he's playing as Necro, so that's not a surprise. But yeah, I just think they're doing really well. I was just having a look. Obviously, we're going to go into the X-rated stuff now, but obviously, what I've been doing, I've been putting a game on, but I don't even recognise any of these teams.
It's a quiet morning, isn't it? It's a quiet morning.
Well,
so,
I've got 14 games, but I don't recognise anything. Unless anybody else can think, I'll just keep it on there for now until something comes up.
Just keep it on there for now. That's good.
But you see, I don't do my qualifying run on the Ps4 till well, 2 days before the end, so I don't know who was who.
Yeah,
To be fair, so.
you're such a sniper.
Yeah,
You
that's it
honestly, you're
now.
like, oh, which team
Which
can I
team?
qualify with 3 games played?
Yeah,
And then boom, thank you very much.
I've learned from Sergel and just improved on it. Sergel takes about 12 games. I'm like, nah, man, that's too many. Go with 6. That'll do. 5 or 6. That's the lucky number.
Circle them. There's no circle on the top page.
He never does
so
though. These days though, he doesn't. He just chills out, and as long as he can qualify, that's all he's bothered about these days. He gets himself a decent, workable team as he always has, and goes by then. I mean, when he won it with Dark Elves, it wasn't a great team. But like I said, people say no, Bernie, he's not as good as you say. I like him. I like the way he plays. I think, and again, in the first round, he shouldn't have won. He did. Go for the game 3, Bernie. I think it's a crazy chaos team. What that's an Orc and Undead badges. Are you on about Claw Enforcement? Name the team, Gimlick, and I'll put it on. Right then, so discussions. Oh my god.
Yes.
So we've got discussions, we've got Ask Bernie, we've got Battle of the Consoles are back this week. I'm sure Cass will love that. We've got so much to go on with, so it'd be good if we can get a game on. Or if Trip wants to give us a laugh, if he wants to spin and get a game, we'll watch you. That'll be funny.
I could watch Trip all day, honestly. I love spectating Trip's games because you never quite know what he's going to do, dear. He's honestly awesome. He is the craziest Blood Bowl coach on the PS4. He is brilliant. I love Trip.
He always gives
nothing but time for that guy.
I think nobody else gives me more stick than Trip. I think he gives me more stick than the full PS4 community. I could rob a bank or something, and I'd still get more stick off Trip than anything else. It just, I don't know. Right, discussions then. We've got plenty. So let's kick it off with the scandal that rocked the world. Apparently, Pausegate, as it's now been called, because you've got to put gate on anything what's got a scandal on. Just to let people know who've been living under a rock. There's a game in the playoffs this week. Now, I apologise to anybody if I've got this wrong, but my understanding is this. The game was played between official Nan and Stummandidi. And I don't think Stummandidi wanted to play the game, but because he's such a nice guy, he moved a few things around to play the game with official. Now, everything was going okay, and then apparently Summandidi's young baby woke up, started crying. He needed just to pause the game just to get the baby back to sleep, as you would. And official Nan was having none of it. He unpaused it, wouldn't let him pause it, and we ended up having Stumpmandidi actually, he's against you, Hoppy, actually trying to play the game with a crying baby. Anybody who knows Stumpmandidi knows he's such a soft, shrinking violet, really. He's just a nice guy. He doesn't badmouth anybody, really. And he was laying on the F-bombs, and he was so upset and so annoyed. Yeah. What made it worse is a very close game, what apparently went down to the wire. So if you can imagine it, he's against one of the favourites to win the competition in this nasty claw team of Chaos Dwarfs with his ogres. And basically... Oh, double skull there. And basically, he's so close to doing it with a baby crying. It's split opinions. Some people say official didn't break any rules. He's well within his right to not pause the game. Others have said, well, he should have messaged him. But then again, when you've got a screaming baby, it might be hard anyway. But other people have said it's an absolute douchebag move, and it doesn't surprise me that it was official who did it. He is a you-know-what. He's not a popular guy. People say, well, he doesn't speak English very well, and that's fair enough. But that pause comes up in his own language. So whatever language, if he's Spanish, it would have come up in Spanish. And the sort of the thing I've got is he wasn't sure why the pause came up. He thought it was his what came up instead. People not really believe that. But obviously,
what a load of bollocks.
obviously, I think Cass has something to say about this. So over to you. What do you think? Break it down for me.
Right. Okay. First of all, I think official 999 is a dickhead. All right. And I'm going to start with that because this whole pause gate thing is brought up a really interesting point about the coaches that play Blood Bowl. And Serious Jest really hit the nail on the head for me. I like, I think the world is serious, Jest,
Yep.
and he's a really balanced guy with his head screwed on, and and when the rest of us are acting like fucking children, he's the guy that's like, hang on a minute, it's a game. You're all adult males, sort your life out.
Yep.
But he said in chat that he cannot subscribe to the win at all costs mentality that official 999 exhibited during Pausegate.
Yep.
And he's absolutely right. Now, hand on heart, Bernie, if that had happened to me and I didn't know that Stuntman D, I'm not against Stuntman DD because I like Stuntman DD. If I like someone, I'm gonna let them pause. If I don't fucking like someone, I'm probably not gonna let them pause.
Right.
Although I'm gonna reevaluate that now.
Yep.
Because I think we would have all been a little bit guilty of not realizing that we've all got real life stuff to get on with, and if someone, somebody that pauses isn't always trying to get an edge of buying a few more seconds to work out what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes there may be a crying baby on the other end, that needs some attention that is obviously far more important than a game of Blood Bowl. So as much as I think that I personally believe, and I got no evidence to support this, but I personally believe that official 999 did it because he just wanted an edge. He understood. He's played enough Blood Bowl to know what he's doing with the pause button. Okay, I call absolute bullshit on him saying, "Oh, I didn't know it was not my pause." Fuck off, official. Yeah, you're full of shit, mate. You knew exactly what you were doing.
Do you know what I think? You know what's so significant about this? If this was God, he likes rolling to skulls, that kid. If we're going to go and see Trip and V in a minute, so we're going to change games in a minute. So Trip, what team are you using? Let me know, and we'll have a laugh. Go on, V, don't let me down. You know what's key to me here? Is it was a playoff game. That's what was key. If it was a normal game, I would have totally got it. I really would have got it. I really would. Without anyone messaging. But for someone to pause the game in the playoffs, to me, that's like, whoa, you don't pause in playoffs, so there's a problem. I would have, if say, for instance, Stuntman D did pause against me, I would have let it run for about 5 minutes. If after 5 minutes, I would have then just messaged him, say, look, have you got a problem, mate? Are you all right? And if he'd have turned around to me and said, look, Bernie, my kid's crying, I'm trying to get him sleep, I'd have said, look, mate, don't worry about it. We'll just keep this pause. If it takes 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I ain't got a problem, mate. We'll just wait. Because I know Stuntman did. I know, obviously. That's the thing about Fisher. He probably doesn't know the real, all the things in there. But I would have said, look, just try and get your child sorted, and we'll do it. Again, it depends when it was done as well. If he was in the first couple of turns, I would have been like, look, if you can't get the child to sleep, we'll just cancel the game. We'll play again. It's obviously a bit different if the game's been on a bit more deeper.
Absolutely.
But to me, I always would have. I would have definitely would have put. Maybe give people 5 minutes, but then after that, I would have been asking, saying, "Look, what's the issue? Is there a problem?" And then I would have waited. That's for the playoffs. I mean, obviously, I can totally understand it in another way. And if I don't know the guy and I'm beating him up and he's pausing, then I'm more likely to say, "You know what? I ain't messing with you." Like you said, if you don't know the guy, I'm more than likely then not to pause. It just depends. Depends how the guy's been to me. But in the playoffs, you've got to, I think in the playoffs, you've got to.
I also understand, Bernie. I also understand that prior to the game starting, Stuntman asked for the game to be played later in the week. And my understanding is that official refused.
I didn't know that. That's the first I've heard.
If that's the case, then that adds an extra layer of douchebag on what happened. But yeah, for Stuntman DD, who we've co-commentated with him, we've chatted to him, genuinely one of the nicest guys in Blood Bowl on the PS4. For him to go into the alumni chat and melt down the way he did was so out of character and unusual. And I also know Stuntman enough to know that he's a really balanced guy. He's not going to do what I do and throw his toys out the pram and make a fucking great big mistake. So, I sort of get why official done it, but it was an absolute douchey move, and I think we need to, all of us, to realise that this is just a game. If somebody does want to pause, for a couple minutes, even if that is for sinister reasons, i.e. they need extra time to work out what they're going to do, or, go on using the odds calculator or some fucking stupid shit like that, then let them. Let them. because the alternative is you get painted as an absolute douchebag for not letting them, and it turns out that their baby is unwell and needed some attention, etc. You know, official as popular as Jimmy Savile in a children's hospital right now, isn't he? And he's gone quiet. You know, he's gone absolutely quiet, and good job too. Yeah, he needs to shut the fuck up. Just hold his hands up and say, yeah, do you know what? I was a douche there. Because we're going to talk about multi-team griefing and stuff as well, because he's got form for that as well. You know, this guy's got form, and he's made himself less popular than me, and that's actually going some.
Yeah,
you know I mean?
that is impressive. I mean, to be fair to Official, he did. I mean, whether people agree or not, he did. I mean, he doesn't speak in chat anyway. He's very, very quiet. I think that's basically because his English isn't very good, and I totally believe that. I mean, he did come on and say, look, I apologise, you know, what had happened. But going back to what you said, I mean, I didn't know that Official said he couldn't play then. But I do know that, obviously, Stuntman Didi went out of his way to get this game played. So I know that would have been a massive reason why he lost it as he did, because he's actually bent over backwards to play at your time, and then you do that to him. And he probably had, and obviously if he's got a baby, I don't know if he was ill or not, but if he knew this could happen, and then, you know, all he wanted was a bit of respect to say, look, just give me a bit and we'll be all right, then we wouldn't have an issue. And the thing is, apparently it was an amazing game, and that sort of thing, what happened,
it was
really,
a brilliant game.
You know,
yeah, it was a brilliant game, and do you know what? Stuntman Didi played Official off the park. Off the pitch.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
It was an amazing game, and Stuntman made one big mistake with Grotty, left him open to a Bull Centaur blitz, and it cost Stuntman the game. Or but other than that, it was an amazing game, and yeah, Official was lucky to get through against friggin' ogres. So you know, it was testament to Stuntman's ability as a coach as well. So. I think we can. I think as a community we can learn from this. Insofar as, do you know what? If somebody pauses, it may not always be because of sinister reasons. So remember, there's a real person on the other end of the game with real life issues. You know, with a crying baby. So yeah, absolutely. And you know, and I'm not going to. You know, again, I don't like Official. I think he's an idiot, but I'm not going to condemn the guy over it.
Mince pie.
You know.
Mince pie. Oh, he's dead! He's dead! Mince pie has been killed by a rock.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a start. I tell you, Trip gets all the roles. He does. Trip is a lucky for. You know. And he's thinking about... You can't save him, V! He can't. He's got to die.
That.
I didn't hit him. Oh, come on, I'm getting blamed for it. I didn't hit him. I've got Calcium Cassie in the chat who likes death, and you're blaming me. I'm hurt, V.
The rock had a big B on it. That's what it was. Had a giant B painted on it.
So somebody stitched me up. Something like the Nuffle Shuffle was on it. This'll teach you for playing a game while supposed to be watching me. Slips cash, absolutely.
V is on a run of epically bad proportions at the moment, isn't he? He is. Don't get me wrong, right? Me and V are neck and neck in the shit 3 days of hell run. We really are. I'm having a really bad run, but poor old V. I think V is just V. You're in the lead now. You're a neck ahead. Do you know what I mean?
This is awesome. He's set up, V Power set his formation because he thought he was kicking and he wasn't. He's receiving.
Brilliant.
We've all done that.
Brilliant.
We've all done that. And he's like, now what do I do? So yeah, poor V's showing us how not to play humans at the moment. Bless him.
Someone's going to need a hug after this game, isn't they?
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, we'll go on to the next thing. But the only thing I will say, the last thing I will say about the pause gate is, I mean, I have got bad memory, but I can't remember the last time I saw pause being used in a playoff game. People just don't do it. So I think the best thing to do, guys, in the playoffs, if someone pauses the game, respect it, and people don't abuse it. Don't abuse it. I don't think we've had that issue ever, but you know, the thing we're proud about, and the thing I always go on when PC go, oh yeah, we're the better, we're the master race and all that. One thing I say is, yeah, but we've got a better community, guys. We don't, dick each other over. And I'm proud to be an admin on the Ps4 because you guys are great. You're great. You never give me any issues at all, really. And it's a trivial
Even
thing.
me.
Yeah, even Cass tones it down these days. Help the elderly. I think that call. Oh my god, double
skulls.
Dead. Dead. V. It should have been called Bernie.
Shit. V's just letting those skulls sink in, thinking.
Yeah. No, he's re-rolled it. Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Dirty. Oh, it's not. What is Ogre? Oh, man, I thought it was his Ogre.
Rewarded.
Oh, man. We've got a thing on the Xbox saying that if you re-roll double skulls, it was end up being an injury. And I'm like, yeah, what a load of bollocks. Yeah, that didn't really help my case there. So, yeah.
Point proved.
Yeah. Right then. Update on the console versus PC, Tony. Now, we've all heard... Not all PC coaches, but we've all heard that the PC are the master race. They are better than the console players. And if we ever went against them, they'd kick our ass. Well, I said it up there. I said, look, okay, you're the best. Fine. Prove it. And you know what? We're going to do a 3-way tournament. Xbox take on PS4 and PC. Xbox lot, they won it. They won it. The PS4 lot, they so won it. I've almost got my team sorted on the PS4. That's without even trying. So everyone's there. But... for some reason, the master race, the guys who are better than everybody else, don't seem like they want to play. They don't want to take on the mere console players. The guys who play for fun don't really have positional sense or anything. I'm still waiting for Mercy to get back to me and say, well, yeah, actually, we've got some players. What do you think? Do you think they just aren't as good? Are they running scared, Cass?
Yeah, do you know what? I think it's a little bit disappointing, actually, because this game is about community, right? This game is about building a community, like any massively multiplayer online game, or not so massive in the case of Blood Bowl. But, yeah, I think it's really disappointing that they're not really embracing the opportunity to, multi-platform for a start, cross-platform for a start, although we would be playing on the PC, so it's sort of, a bit cross-platform, isn't it?
Yeah.
But why not embrace it? I'm going to talk to Jimmy because I get on really well with Jimmy, as you know, and I'm going to say to Jimmy, look, Jimmy, we need the likes of you on board on this.
Yeah.
Especially, he was talking in his stream the other day about coming over to the PS4 again, and obviously we know what happened the last time he came over to the PS4. He got his ass kicked, and he took his ball and went home. And I love Jimmy. I think the world of Jimmy, but that is what happened. He I'm not playing with you guys no more. It was almost like that, wasn't it? And yeah, I just think it's so disappointing, and especially if they're going to continue their rhetoric of, oh yeah, we're better than everyone else. Oh, we're not, the console players are beneath us. Blah blah blah. That's just really disappointing. Put up or shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not prepared, not prepared to play us, then stop crowing about how much better you are than us.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the thing with Jimmy though, and I've said this to you many times, especially off air, when you play the hero, you play some sort of role, people are going to give you stuff back if they beat you. He came on, and to be fair to him, I think a lot of the PC was saying more than he was, that he came for the easy money. And, and obviously he's called Jimmy Fantastic. A lot of people think how ego-driven he's been calling himself Fantastic. So this, what I'm saying, there's various things there. And if you come on and you attack a PS4 community, what people have got to realise is the communities on the Xbox and the PS4 are very tight-knit. It's like a family. So if you attack one of them, you're basically attacking them all. So, so when you play against the good players, and they beat you, then they're going to give you it back. It's nothing personal. It's just you ran your mouth. You said you come, you're saying you're better than us. So if we beat you, we're going to give you it back, and that's all it is. Like you say, if you run your mouth, then don't be surprised if people run the mouth back. And he'd be great. He's a great player. No one, as much as me and him have had words, he's a great player, and I've never said he isn't. But obviously, I'm gonna. If as you said earlier, if someone pokes the bear, expect to get bit, because that's what he did. And the PS4 community rallied, and it was basically Jimmy versus 200 odd coaches who wanted him to be beat. And as I've said before, we have got a lot of good coaches on the consoles who are more. And the thing is, what speaks volumes is a lot of these now have gone onto the PC and said, "Do you know what, Benny? I'm not trolling here, but it's so much easier." On the PC, it's just like you've got to play a lot more games. Because obviously it's a bigger pool, so you're more than likely to play against an average Joe. instead of a top player like you would on the consoles.
Yeah. You got a lot more scrubs on the PC, basically, and you certainly got a lot more crazy Russians, So but you've got to play twice the amount of games. You're not going to qualify with 15-game team. You've got to play 25, 30 games, and you've got to have your losses around 1 or 2 to have a realistic chance of qualifying. But I think if the likes of Murloc Joe, Zigny, Jimmy Fantastic, the Sage, Knorr, if these guys don't get involved in this, and it's going to be a massive shame, because that's what the Blood Bowl community that watch streamers, that's what they want to see. And do you know what? If by rights, I think on balance the PC are probably better than the console players. But do you know what? It would be a missed opportunity. I think I can only imagine that Nefos is really up for it. Because it just enhances the popularity of the game. It gives it a bit of publicity. I think it would be a massive shame if it doesn't come off. But do you know what? If the big streaming coaches don't want it, then I'm sure that the PC community will be able to find 4, 5, 6, 8 coaches that do want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, it's only 4. We only need 4 players, and it's a very quick sort of tournament style as well. Nethos, he actually private messaged me. What's very rare when it's something not to do, with our admin work. And apart from obviously calling the console players peasants, what he wasn't happy about. But to be fair, the console guys came up with that.
They did.
He was like, yeah, this is so good. He was definitely happy about it. He was like, yeah, this could be good. Because obviously this is where, when Cyanide look at stuff like this, they're like, oh, right, okay, so we've got Xbox coaches, we've got PS4 coaches and PC coaches all playing together as one community. So if people want things like cross-platform, this would really help, because it shows Cyanide, look what can happen if you invest in cross-platform. Now, I know some of the big streamers have said no already. I mean, Mercy said that. But I think it would be a terrible shame. I just think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I just think the way PC, they've ran their mouth so much, they're not as confident as they think they are, and they know if they lose, they'll never hear the last of it. I think there'll be some banter, but I don't think it would be brought up all the time. I think they just like their bragging rights. They like their bragging rights, and if the console team beat them, they wouldn't be able to say that anymore, and that's what they're scared of. And to me, it's a game, guys. It's all about growing the community. I think it would be great, and it would show a way into cross-platform. And like you said, technically the PC should be better, because it's like the UK taking on America. In a competition, they have so many more people, so there's more chance that they'll have better players because there's more of them. But I just thought, what, it'd be so much fun. Yeah, there's going to be banter, it'd be light-hearted banter, but it'd be fun as well. So why won't they just get off the pedestal and actually do something for the community and take on the console players? It'd be great. The potential, there's so much potential there, and the maximum amount of games you will play is 4. 4 wins you the championship, so it's not a long tournament either. So I just don't get it. Apart from it must be ego. That's all I can think of, Cass.
Yeah. Do you know what? You're probably right, Bernie. I think because at the moment the whole sort of cross-platform tournament type thing, it's early days, isn't it? I think if it became a little bit more official, and certainly Neophos said, look, I'm going to run with this, then I think the PC players may be a little bit more interested. But for the time being, while it's sort of early days, excuse me, my kids in the background going nuts.
Mando water.
While it's early days, I think the PC players aren't going to be very engaged with it, because they're probably saying, well, look, it may not happen, but hopefully it does, and hopefully it will just enhance the popularity of the game. So, because that's what we all want at the end of the day. We want this game to grow. We want more coaches to play. Like I said the other day. So, in 18 months' time, Nefos isn't saying on the forum chat, I'm sorry, guys, we haven't got the support anymore. We're pulling the prize money. We're pulling our support for the game, because that would break all our hearts, wouldn't it? So,
it would.
Let's do stuff to ensure that doesn't happen to this game that we love.
Yeah. I mean, there is a thing, what Sergel... Now, is Sergel actually a member of the UC or not? Because he never has the tag in there. I don't know if he's Spanish or French or whatever, but he came up with this thing of the UC. What basically, for people who are watching who aren't on the PS4, it's a group of coaches who dominated last season in the league. They had, I think most of their good players were on the top page, and he wanted to do a tournament, basically UC versus the rest of the world, or Spain versus the rest of the world, is the way to put it. Now, I certainly don't have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with what he's given me as a format. It's basically, the way he wants to do it is it's 8 teams, 8 Spaniards versus 8 of whatever we choose, and each week they'll play a different opponent. So it's going to be 2 months long. What is, to me, is way too long. He also that is my main sticking point, because I can show you 1 or 2 people get fed up, and that'll be it. Especially if they start losing, they'll be, oh well, what's the point of carrying on? So that was my main concern with it. I think, a little round robin tournament would have been better, or basically just play 1 week of 8 games, and then and that'll be it. That'll be the way. That would be the way I think would be the best way to do it. The other option I would have thought is if other leagues like the LVM wanted to join in, you could have your own sort of UC versus LVM and then the rest of the world. That would be more appropriate. Obviously, a Resurrection tournament would probably be the best way to go, maybe. It's things like that, but that's something else. But the UC, obviously, they Flint Sorrow gave us a lovely song about UC being the world champions and all that, so that was fantastic. So, I mean, that could possibly happen as well.
Do you know what, Bernie? I've got to come in here, right? First of all, UC, right? Who the fuck are the UC? Okay, let's be clear on this, right? They have world champions. They have Champions Ladder winners in their group. Then their world champions are fuck all. Right, for a start, okay, and secondly, all this talk about Spain versus the rest of the world. Who the fuck are Spain, right? Honestly, talk about Napoleon complex, okay? These guys need to get over themselves for a start. Personally, I am absolutely uninterested in taking on Spain in general, let alone a protracted marathon 8 week monster of a tournament. Yeah, it sounds like Sergel couldn't run a piss up in a brewery. So, do you know what I mean? Do you know what, Sergel? You go back to, playing 13-game teams and doing your thing. But, it's because Sergel also had a bit to say in the alumni chat about us not giving the UC stick. Well, first and foremost, within the rules, I will talk about what the fuck I like in the alumni chat. Okay, as long as I'm not breaking any rules as laid down by the admins, then that's fine. But what Sergel's missing, what people are missing here is this game is enhanced on a bit of drama and a bit of needle. I think the UC versus us guys that don't like clans by default, I think that's a great thing for the game. It's great fluff. The reason the UC is sore right now, Bernie, is because they're getting their ass kicked this season. That's why they're sore. Okay, that's why they don't like all these comments at the moment. It's because they're getting creamed this season. Last season they had it their own way because, do you know what, Calcium was still on PS4 Exile, but now Calcium's back and he's dishing it out. Okay, official 999, he was tearing it up with Chaos last season because the real Great White Shark, the #1 Chaos badass motherfucker on the PS4, was not there. But I'm here now, and what has his Chaos done? Nothing. His Chaos are a pure grief team. They got a wretched record. There's something like 8 losses in 15 games. And he's just griefing with them. Until he bumps into me, because then I'd perm 2 of his Chaos Warriors. Do you know what? Spain. Spain has had a few Champions Cup winners. They got some really class players. That is not in dispute. But all this, I would rather focus my attention on the cross-platform tournament. This Spain versus the rest of the world. Get over yourselves, okay, for a start. You're not that important, okay? You don't deserve your nation versus the rest of the world tournament as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, do you know what? A sort of UC versus best of the rest. I think I'd be up for that. And as I said in the alumni chat, Bernie, I was getting tired of Sergel bantering on about it. Do you know what? Let's do it just so we can shut them up.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because obviously Sergel did say about he wasn't happy that it became a bit of a every time someone beat UC, blah blah blah. It was in there. The thing what spilt volumes to me was none of the. I mean, I don't even know if it's UC because he never says his tag, but no UC member has ever complained to any of his admins and said, you know what, we're getting fed up of this. None of them have, and a lot of them, to be fair, relish it. You know, none of them have bitched about it. There's only Sergel who's come out with it. And he was on about, oh, well, serious jests and that. And I was like, I felt like saying, look, out of all the admins, serious jests is the one who will tell you to shut the fuck up. Because he won't tolerate it. He'll just say, look, you're all adults, just get on with it. And he was so funny that he actually came out and said, look, guys, you know, admins have got a lot of work to do. And he knows, he's an ex-admin, he knows we've got a lot of stuff to do. What we haven't got time to do is police adults with stuff like, trivial stuff like that. The Illuminati is there to talk about stuff regarding games, whatever. And to be honest, sometimes the chat can be quite stagnant. Ever since we've had this thing about the UC, it's been busy, it's been vibrant, people have been getting on, people have been talking and laughing.
Yeah, absolutely, Bernie, you're spot on.
It's been
traffic, and it's conversation traffic.
Yeah.
For ages, the alumni chat, you know, because I still regularly went on the PS4, even when I wasn't playing Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
And it was dead donut. The chat was dead. But now with the UC, look at all the interaction. The bottom line is, right, Sergel personally doesn't like that kind of chat, right? He doesn't like it. It's like somebody not liking the color red. Okay, they're not going to have red on their, you know, on their wallpaper or whatever. So this is the bottom line. Sergel doesn't like it personally. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to enforce his preference on everyone else. Well, do you know what? That's lame. For us, I expected a little bit better of Sergel, to be honest. That's lame. You know, I don't like elf balling, okay? But I'm not telling everyone else not to elf ball, am I?
No.
So, you know, so, and within the bounds of the rules, you know, I will talk about what I like in the alumni chat. And if the UC, or if a UC member or a non-UC member takes offense at me poking them after I destroy them, then so, you know, actually the other day I got torn apart by a UC a member, and I was fully expecting to be torn apart in the alumni. I was almost braced for impact, you know, and it didn't come. It didn't come. So I was almost a bit disappointed, really, because this game, you know, we've all, a lot of us lose track of what this game is. This game is fluff. It's built on, you know, fantasy teams killing each other in the guise of football. Come on, guys, you know, let's keep that in mind. And but you know, the UC we're you know, you're with me. We're having you, me, V, Trip, and others. We're having a lot of fun with the UC, and we wouldn't be able to have that kind of fun if the UC didn't exist. So I dislike clans in general. I've never been much of a team player when it comes to joining a group or a clan. You know, but I like the UC, and the PS4 needs the UC. You know, it's almost like a heel faction, like the NWO from WWE or something. Do you know what I mean? You know, they're fulfilling that role. And then, you know, you've got the sort of courageous individuals that are trying to stop this despotic group taking over. You know, you know, that's the way my brain works when I think of the UC. So if they think it's anything other than that, then they're mistaken. But yeah, do you know what? The PS4 needs. I can't believe I'm saying this, but they need the UC. We need the UC, and they've brought a lot to it. And Sergel needs to realise that before he goes into the alumni chat, going, "Oh, I don't like everyone picking on the UC." You know, stop your crying, mate. Okay, and get with the program.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, like I said, UC don't seem to have a problem with it. They understand it's banter, and it's a mark of respect that they've done so well. But as I said in chat, we've had one issue what I've had to slam down on in the alumni chat, and guess what? It had nothing to do with the UC. That's the thing. So the only time really I had to say, well, hang on, let's cool your beans a bit here, wasn't a UC related incident.
No.
So, you know, that you know, to me speaks volumes. No UC players come back and complain to me. I think most of the guys are really funny. They know the score and they know it's just banter. You know, Flynn came up with that funny song, you know, and it was just a bit of banter, and I loved it.
He's got a fucking good voice.
Oh, he has, hasn't he? He's got a beautiful voice. And but the thing is, so they get it. So they get it. So I would look at it differently if I had a lot of the UFC lot coming with genuine, you know, problems, but none of them do because they get it. They get it. It's a game, and we just banter. Nobody's, you know, doing anything out of line. And I've said if they do, we stop it. Someone went out of line. I stopped it. He respected it. He apologised. It was done. like adults.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't like the abrasive thing and stuff like that. And I'm sure Sergel had genuine concerns on his personality and the way he saw it, and that's fine. But nobody was breaking any rules, and I'm sorry, but since the UC and all this, it's made the Illumina chat vibrant, fun, everybody's talking. And then they might start talking about UC, but then they'll talk about something else, and he just goes on from there. So I don't think there's any hostility there, because I think the great thing about UC, apart from the good players, is they get it. They get that it's just banter. They get it's fun. They get it's a challenge. They get it that it's a mark of respect to them that people want to try and beat them because they're that good. You know, so they get it. If they didn't, then we might have a different view on it. But they don't. They're adults. They get it. And let's hope it may continue. I don't have a problem taking on the UC or even Spain. What I do have a problem with, it's a ridiculously long time, and nobody wants to go through 2 months of all that. If you want a quick competition like we're trying to do on the PC, you will get that. You'll get that, no problem. But if you want a long thing, I don't think there's enough players. I mean, I've spoken to a few players, and they've said, how long, Bernie? No. And that's some of my best mates who've said, no, I'm not doing 2 months. And I was like, I
wouldn't
know.
Personally, Bernie, I wouldn't be interested in playing it over more than a week, let alone 6. It's ridiculous. I don't quite know what Sergel wants. Respectfully, I think Sergel needs to stick with playing Blood Bowl and leave the tournament organisation to people that can actually organise tournaments.
Yeah. So, I think it was just spitballing ideas and all that. And I appreciate that he wants to do something like this. I totally get it, and I love people coming up who've got ideas like this. And I will definitely help him as best I can. And he wanted our input, and I just thought it might be easy just saying on Nuffle show instead of typing all the time. And I just think the way he's done it, there's just too much clutter in there, and the length of the competition, it'll be a non-starter. Obviously, if he wants us to police it or as admin it, it's going to be a lot of work over 2 months. I mean, honestly, we have so much work we have to do. You lot don't see it. We have ridiculous amount of work to do, and 2 months of that on top. And then, like I said, if we get this PC thing up and running as well, then we've got to, me and Mercy be invested in that as well. And it's just so much. It's so much work. So. My simple thing is this: we can go to the drawing board, Sergel, me, you, Messi, whoever. We can sort out a tournament, a quick tournament, like someone was going to do on the PC. I'm all for that, and I can get a lot of players who'll play that. But
absolutely.
The 2 month things
make it short, make it sweet. Yeah. So people don't lose interest, because the worst thing you could do with any tournament-based idea that runs over 1 week is you're going to get coaches that lose a game or two and then lose interest, and that's quite normal. But at least if it's short and fast, they haven't got time to lose interest. Yeah. So absolutely. Sergel needs to go away and have a rethink about how he'd run it. Yeah, and then come back to you or Mercy Flush and say, look, actually, I've had a rethink. How about this? Yeah. Because I would be well up for a UC versus the rest type scenario. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I know that you and Duran and Tripp and Gimlick, would be, and Teddy Tom would be up for that. So there's a lot of non-UC coaches that would be up for that. And again, all that will just enhance PS4 Blood Bowl. It will put bums on seats, which is what we want. So but the UC, do you know what? They're good. They're good for Blood Bowl. Yeah. I love sticking it to them, but they're good for Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl, the PS4 Blood Bowl is better with them in it. Because let's be fair, we love punching them in the face, don't we, Bernie? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I love the guys. I think they're great. I love what they did, putting all UC on there. I loved them dominating, and it was a challenge, and they're all cool guys. The only one who doesn't seem to get on with me is Official, but I think that could be more to do with a language barrier than anything else. But it's great stuff, and anything we can do to bring the community together and stuff like that, I'm sure we can get some sort of tournament sorted out. And obviously, I'm in a chat with Messi and Sergel, and I will go back to him and we'll discuss it and try and sort something out. So there we go. Anyway, here's an interesting one. Cup winners. Do the best coaches always win the cup? My answer to that is no, because Trippers won it.
Do you know what? You sort of no. Clearly, in any dice game where you win or lose on a 6 or a 1, you cannot always expect the best coach to win. Now, what should happen is skill. Skill should override luck. But do you know what? I always describe it like this. If you give me a bucket of sixes, if I roll sixes against you, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
Yeah? You can be the best player in the world, and I will beat you. If I roll a bunch of ones, then chances are I'm going to get beat. Yeah. Now, what the best coaches in the world do is they maximize their chances and minimize their dice rolls. You know, that's what you need to do in Blood Bowl. You need to minimize the amount of dice you roll, because the more dice you roll, the more likely you are to fail. That's just, statistics. So, that's what the best coaches in the world do. And I'm nowhere near the best coach in the world, but largely I will make non-dice roll moves first. I will never normally start a turn with a big guy unless I'm desperate, So, yeah, the best guys don't always win, but over, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Over X amount of months, you'll see the same guys making the finals all the time. You'll see the same guys making the late stages of the playoffs all the time. In my case, you'll see the same guy get into the third round and then failing all the time. But yeah, no. In a nutshell, Bernie, the best coaches don't always win.
Yeah, I think you need a lot of luck to do that, and that's why ours win's just been so fantastic. Winning 3 championships like that is an amazing feat. Because we've all had it. We'll have that team, and then we'll just get diced, and that's it. It's game over. And if you lose one game, that's it, you're gone. And I also think the luck of the draw as well. I mean, even if you play, you play a case kill team, you beat them, but they wreck half your team, then that could be you completely gone. Or the luck of the draw plays a significant part. Now, like my high elves, we got through. Now I've got against a champion, where I could have been against someone easier, and then I might have got further. It's all the luck of the draw, as always is in sport, like the FA Cup and stuff like that. It's whoever you're drawn against and stuff like that. So I think all the cup winners who've won it are good coaches. But if you're asking me if the elite has always won it, then no way. There's a lot of good coaches I know who haven't won it yet. And it's not because of lack of trying. It's just that they're just
Hello.
It's just the way it is, isn't it? It's just the way it is, and I don't know. Yeah. And I think that
was an easy question, Bernie. That was an easy question.
Well, I'm just going through what we've got. I mean, I think that's the reason why players like Sergel play about 15 games and then goes, you know what, I ain't stressing, I ain't going to grind because I know how this happens. I grind for 60 games and then some chump with 5 games beats me. Yeah, I'm not having that. I'll take my 15 games and that'll be it. And I get that. I totally get that because then they can use inducements and various stuff and I get it. But no, I thought it was quite an easy question. But hey, had to be said. The next one though might not be as easy. It's reared its ugly head again. Elves overpowered, and are chaos as powerful as people make out? I'm going straight to you on this because this is something you obviously know a lot about.
Yes, elves are overpowered. Okay, desperately overpowered. What happens is, people are more concerned with the attrition aspect of Blood Bowl than the touchdown aspect of Blood Bowl. Personally, I don't really care about the attrition. I never have. I play Blood Bowl for a particular reason. I get annoyed when people cricket score me. When they beat me 3-0, 3-1, 4-1 or whatever with elves. A 2+ dodge with reroll, with a built-in reroll, with the dodge skill it's got to be overpowered, hasn't it? What people are so concerned with claw palm. And I was chatting to you before we went live, Bernie. My chaos are imploding at the moment. And I do this quite a lot. I get to about 10, 12 games with my chaos, have this great record. I think I was 10-0-1 with my chaos at one point. And they're mid to high TV now. They're around the 1700 mark, which is a bit of a sweet spot for me, really. And they're fucking imploding, mate. Because other than the Chaos Warriors, they got a bunch of Armor 8 for a start. So Mighty Blow is going to really, really, ruin your day on Armor 8. And I'm always giving away inducements. I'm always playing against the friggin' wizard. And as I said to you before we went live, if Plan A doesn't work with Chaos, it's really difficult to do anything, And so this is why I think this season Elves are doing so well. And more balanced teams like Necro, which have a good mixture of speed and attacking force. They have a good mixture of bash and dash. But yeah, my opinion is pretty simple, and of course, people are going to call me biased, but my opinion is pretty simple. I think elves are overpowered. I think elves are more of a problem in Blood Bowl than Clawpom is. The only issue with Clawpom is the piling on aspect of it. If you turn piling on into an unmodified role, so it couldn't be, lumped with Mighty Blow on a natural armor break, then you would sort out Clawpom a great deal. I think piling on should be an unmodified role, but by the same token, mass blodge elf teams. Look at Teddy Tom at the moment. Look at what Teddy Tom and Mellow Gold are doing with their elves. They're tearing it apart, and Teddy Tom is playing elves like friggin' chaos. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I actually think that elves are the actual real problem in Blood Bowl, not chaos. But of course, many people would disagree with me.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, though, the reason for that is if an elf team spanks me 4-0, yeah, it's not great. But guess what? More time than not, my team's going to be intact. If a chaos team bring the bucket of sixes, they can retire a team. They can actually retire a team, and that is the problem. That is why they get so much flack, because they see it. They see it's like when good things happen in Blood Bowl, you forget them. You always forget. You always remember the bad things. So all it takes
you only ever remember the bad beats, don't you? Yeah.
All it takes is one bad beat against chaos, and you get 3-4 your players completely wrecked. You killed you retired 2 of Teddy Tom's blitzers. Yeah.
I killed him dead. Yeah,
so,
and they were both 30. They were both 30-star player point blitzers as well. They were tooled up blitzers, and and this is testament to Teddy Tom as a coach. Any other coach, I think, would have thought, "Fuck this team" at that point, because I decimated his team. I lost 3-1, but I decimated his team first time round, and then the second game, I think if I killed his stat freak, I think that might have been a bridge too far for that team. But I almost got him. I beat him, but I almost beat him and destroyed him, because that's the goal of chaos, right? When you look at the chaos fluff, okay, and this is what a lot of people go, "Oh, you're just griefing, you're just kill stack, killing teams." That's what chaos are about. Their actual fluff says they don't care about the ball. They beat the opposition into the turf, and then they worry about scoring and winning. That is in their fluff. So people need to understand that chaos kill stack players that are doing that are doing what they were exactly built for. It would be like me complaining about an elf team scoring touchdowns when all you do is elf ball and score touchdowns with your wood elves. Well, that's exactly what they're friggin' built for.
To do, yeah.
So, but yeah, absolutely. No one, do you know what? We are all pixel huggers. V actually made a really good comment in the alumni chat yesterday or the day before. And he basically said, look, we're all pixel huggers. Arguably, chaos players are probably among the biggest pixel huggers of them all, because the best defense is a good offense. If you are killing your opposition, there's less of them to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, but we've all had those games where you get torn apart by a blinking wood elf team.
Yeah.
And it hurts so much, But yeah, with chaos, there's a bunch of armor 8 on chaos. So a developed dwarf, orc team, necro team. Look what Gimlick done to me a few days ago with his necros. To be fair, it was raining and he was picking up on a 5+, and I could not get a dice off. But his werewolves tore me to shreds. Absolutely tore me a new one. So before what I would like people to do is, before they get too opinionated over a chaos kill stack team, have a look at who's top in the division. Have a look at the win-loss records, because most seasons in the Chaos Champions, in the Champions ladder, most seasons, even the top Chaos is sat there with 6, 7, 8 losses. And that's because at mid to high TV, they are without a doubt the hardest hitting team in the game. Chaos and Nurgle, when they're developed, they're friggin' scary, no question. But they have serious limitations as well. Especially Chaos, because Nurgle have disturbing presence, and they got access to tentacles with the big guy. Chaos suffer high TV, so I would just like it to be a little bit more balanced. But of course, the kill stackers are going to get all the attention, aren't they? Because they're the ones killing your pixels.
Yeah,
so
that's basically what it could. That's basically what it boils down to, is that they have the potential to absolutely destroy a team. And if you've been playing 30, 40 games, and then all of a sudden KS team, you come up against KS team, you're like, oh my god, this could, or this nerf piling on like they did in the tabletop, or come up with something different. If they did that, then you would not get an issue with KS teams at all. They'd still be able to hit. It's just the piling on would be nerfed.
Yeah,
and that is basically the issue.
The tabletop nerf of piling on was ridiculous. All right, because piling on isn't a problem in the tabletop anyway. It's not a problem in tabletop because it's not a perpetual league, or even the Champions Ladder, which is a semi-perpetual league. It's not, obviously in Fumble you've got the Black Box, which is a proper perpetual league. I had a Chaos team in Fumble with over 1,000 games played. 1,100 games played. So that's when piling on is an issue in a perpetual or semi-perpetual environment.
Yep.
So that was, that was a stupid reaction to a lot of people saying, "Oh, my it's OP," "Oh, Claw Palm is killing all my players." It was a ridiculous thing to do, but And then they sort of amended it very quickly, didn't they? They sort of actually, we didn't mean that. Yeah. That nerf isn't so good, so we're not actually going to have it. I don't know whether it's part of the rules or not at the moment, but I don't play a lot of tabletop anymore.
No, I don't. So I don't know. I mean, I just thought that is the issue why people. We saw Azaway just basically destroy the Underworld team. I mean, obviously the Goblins, but like I say, if you don't get you the first time, they'll get you the second time when piling on, and I think that's what the issue is, especially when you've got Claw and Mighty Blow. But yeah, they need to come up with something. I like the idea what you said about the unmodified, pile on. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it just seems so simple to me. Make piling on. Obviously, Mighty Blow and Claw. Yeah. Does stack, and I believe it should stack.
Yeah, I do.
But make piling on unmodified. Just make it an unmodified roll. So so it will be an unmodified injury roll. I think that would solve a lot of hassle, because piling on, stacking with Mighty Blow, essentially a +1 on injury. If you get a natural armor break, is actually really powerful, isn't it? So re-rolling a +1. It's a really, really scary thing to do. But anyway, so that's my take on it. But of course, I'm a little bit biased because I'm a confirmed Chaos player. I do need to try Wood Elves at some point, but I just think I'd embarrass myself, to be honest. I'm gonna play like Teddy Tom and just go balls to the wall. Honestly. I think he has got elephant balls. That guy, seriously, he really has. It's brilliant.
I just think it's. If elves have more players than you, they'll usually win. You need to get them down, and elves seem to win more tournaments than Chaos or Nurgle do, even in these 6-week tournaments. So I think it's a lot easier to score than to pitch clear or to get enough players off the pitch. Because at the end of the day,
absolutely.
You still, what
absolutely.
is it? What do you need to, like a 10 to injure somebody? I mean. There is that. I think this will go on. I don't think we'll ever convince people until something happens to piling on, and that's just the way it is. But elves do crazy stuff, and it is what it is. So there we go. Anyway, it's time. I think it's time for that exclusive. I really do. Before we go on to the Ask Bernie questions, we did promise an exclusive earlier on. I don't know how much happy the Ps4 lot will be, because really it does really affect them. But hey, it is what it is. So go ahead with your exclusive, and can you as well, while you're at it after doing the exclusive, just clear up the mess with the was it the quarterfinal match between you and Space? Not you and Space, you and Glasshammer.
No. With me and Glasshammer, yeah. So basically, since obviously my self-imposed exile on the Xbox One, which I needed to do because we'll talk about what happened during that quarterfinal, third round game, quarterfinal. I got outplayed by Glasshammer. Simple. It wasn't dice. I didn't have bad dice. I didn't have amazing dice, but I didn't have bad dice. It's not the kind of game where I thought, fucking hell, I've been diced up the wazoo here. I just got outplayed. He just played better than me. And I tuned in on the second half on your stream because I knew I just knew I was in deep shit. I just knew I was getting turned over, and I thought, oh, I'll have a listen to the second. I guess I was a bit salty about getting beat because no one likes getting beat. You know, some people deal with it better than others, but no one likes getting beat. If you say you like getting beat, you are a liar. Okay, you're just lying. But anyway, and I was listening to Space Magic banter with Rambo, and they were both really, really enjoying themselves and giving it the big bollocks, and and there was nothing wrong with that. And since chatting to you, I understand that I took it really personally. Now I've had a bit of history with Space Magic. He does like to throw messages my way and wind me up. And likewise, because you know what I'm like, Bernie. I'll give as good as I get, and I got no love for the guy. He thinks I'm a tool bag. I think he's a tool bag. Balance is restored. So basically, I really, do you know what? I just saw the red mist come down, and I went in and I made an absolute fucking idiot of myself. I went into the post-game interview, and I'm throwing the threats around, which is fucking ridiculous for a start because it's the internet. Okay, and Space Magic was clearly the type of guy that wasn't going to take a threat laying down, which is fine. I respect that, and so he gave as good as he got, and then he started taking the piss, and because I was in such an agitated state, I'm me, Bernie. I'm normally a pretty witty guy, and I can normally drop one-liners, and I can normally hold my own in a sort of banter-based conversation discussion with anyone. But because the red mist had come down, I was just in sort of fuck you mode, and it was the whole thing was pretty embarrassing, to be honest. I haven't watched it back because it's just exceptionally embarrassing, and I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to Space Magic, because regardless of my personal opinion of the guy, there was no excuse for that, and it's not becoming of me as a person, or or someone that wants to be more involved in the Blood Bowl community. Because let's be fair, if I was Nefos or someone like that, I'd be thinking, hang on a minute, do I want Calcium Kaz announcing on a game when he's got the potential to do that? Absolutely not. So I really didn't do myself any favors, and so that is basically why I decided to exile myself a little bit from the Xbox. I did find the community a little bit more toxic, but no more toxic really than the PS4 has been on occasion. And it was more of a self-punishment.
Right.
I was essentially saying, guys, I've really fucked up here. I felt that I wouldn't have been forgiven very easily. Do you know what I mean? So, and I thought, right, the best thing I can do here is just to take a step back. And it's actually done me the world of good, because I had a look at myself in the mirror. I realized, I said to my wife straight afterwards, I said, why the fuck did I do that? Oh my God. And she said, what was going on downstairs? You were F-bombing and, throwing around the threats and da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, I've just been a fucking idiot. And so I went away from there, and I sort of reevaluated this persona I have on here, and I am playing the heel. I do like the needle and the drama. But if I'm playing that kind of role, if I'm playing that kind of character, I have to realize that when people give it to me, I have to take it. I have to have the thickest skin in the world, and I didn't on that occasion. And so yeah, I'm sorry, Space Magic, that I did that. I can assure you it won't happen again. And what I do is when I go back on the Xbox, I will send him a message apologizing as well, because I just
excellent stuff.
No excuse. I shouldn't have done it. And but on that note, I know that you've been banging on about me sort of going back on the Xbox, and I know that through you, a number of coaches is missing me the right word? I don't know if they're
the missing kicking your ass out there. That's what it is. The missing kicking your ass and giving you a stick, mate. We haven't got a villain.
And absolutely. So I am intending this season. It's going to be a late run, but I proved last season on the PS4 I can do a late run. I am intending on doing a late run on the Xbox, and what I would like to do this season is qualify for both the PS4 and the Xbox playoffs. So that is my announcement, really, that Calcium Kaz will be back on the Xbox. A little bit more humble, maybe, but I am intending on coming back on the Xbox because, do you know what? Prior to that, I did have a lot of fun on the Xbox, and there are some really good players on the Xbox as well. You know, the one that I impressed me more than anyone else was Rambo.
I love Rambo.
I think Rambo was an amazing player, and I think pound for pound, he's probably the best Xbox player. That might have changed this season, you know, because I've been gone 6-8 weeks now, so and that's a long time in Blood Bowl terms. But yeah, I'm gonna next week. I think I've got my playoff on Tuesday. Me and Jack are talking about doing our PS4 playoff on Tuesday evening at 9 o'clock. I think it's 8 o'clock my money actually. So. But yeah, so we're talking about that. So once I got that out of the way, win, lose or draw, I'm going to be back on the Xbox. I'm going to make a run on there. But yeah, so that is that whole issue really. Yeah, pretty embarrassing. Wish I hadn't done it.
Yeah, I mean,
all I can do is hold my hands up, Bernie, and say sorry and move on.
And that's a good thing. I mean, that's a good thing. I think it's great that you come out and basically said it actually live as well, so people, you know, it's on there for anyone to listen to it. You know, the issue we've always had, and we've fell out before with this, is the best thing to do with Cass if he loses, just leave him alone. Just don't even talk to him. Just let him chill out in his own way. Just don't poke the bear. I mean, I've said to you off air, and I'll say it again: is I don't think Space did anything wrong. I checked it back, and you know, but I also understand this was again you went out in that same stage, and you didn't do nothing wrong. So I get it. I get it. You know what happened, and I do appreciate that you've obviously come on and obviously apologized and stuff. I think that's fantastic. But as I've said to you, and I know I'm like a broken record, and I will probably keep saying this to you all the time, when you play the bad guy, people are going to rip you. But it's not because they hate you like in real life. They just want, you know, it's just you're playing this role of the heel. They're playing this role of the hero, shall we say, or the good guy, or you know, and it's like wrestling, isn't it? You know. You're a heel.
Absolutely, Bernie.
When you walk down to the ring, you've got all these audiences giving you stick and all sorts, and that's the way I look at it. Because you're the bad guy. The good guys don't get the stick because of the good guys.
Could you imagine? You know, like a massive heel, like the $1 Million. I'm showing my 80s
$1 Million Man.
Now,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the $1 Million Man going down to the ring in WWF back in the day, and then halfway down, start having a go at someone because they're booing him, you know, and that's essentially what I was doing, wasn't it? You know, I'm playing this big bad heel, and then halfway down the ramp, I'm going, oh, hang on a minute, you can't say that about me. I'm a person too. I have feelings, you know, and that is essentially what I did, and that's fucking anal, isn't it? And you know, I just made a bit of a tool bag of myself by doing that. Teddy Tom's put in the chat. Do you know what? When Teddy Tom beat me 3-1 a couple of days, I'm trying to be better when I get beat. You know, I got turned over by Jackra this morning with my chaos. He actually put in the alumni chat his dice were on fire, and everything he hit he destroyed. Again, my AV8 was useless. When Teddy Tom beat me 3-1. It was really weird because that defeat felt like a bit of a win, because I tore his team apart. I actually didn't think he was going to recover the way he recovered. But yeah, the next game, as we saw, you know, at the start of the show, he then went on to win 6-0, you know. So yeah, I've just skilled up both my new blitzers in one game, you know. But yeah, I messaged him. And I said, you know, this loss feels a bit like a win, but you played really well. I'm trying really hard. I don't get it right all the time, and sometimes, you're right. So sometimes we all just want to be left alone to calm down a little bit, don't we? Especially after an epic dice, and we just want to be left alone to calm down, and then move on. You know, and some coaches most coaches know when that's the case. Some coaches don't. But yeah, do you know what? I need to have the thickest of skins in the world. To play I love playing this role. I love it. You know, I really enjoy the way I interact on Blood Bowl. And so yeah, the whole space magic incident was a massive learning curve for me, and I
Yeah.
like to think that my internet ability, for want of a better word, I just made, how about that for a made up word?
So I'll finish
It's
it.
better. Yeah, it's better now. I'm better able to cope with the
Yeah.
swings that the internet will throw at you. So, but yeah, I'm gonna make a run on the Xbox. I don't know what race I'm gonna do because I haven't looked at I haven't looked at the Xbox Cladder since I left, so I have no idea what's going on at the moment. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have a look and
Yeah. But I think I say, I think if there was ever any sort of criticism of yourself is how you handle losses. Nobody likes to lose, but obviously But like I said, I to my knowledge, the Xbox, they like it, and you've said, now you've realised obviously if you play the heel, you're going to get a stick. Jimmy had the same thing
yeah,
on the PS4. It's nothing personal. People are just playing a role, and people enjoy giving stick, but they also know that if you give them stick back, they'll take it. So that's all it
yeah,
is. Anyway,
yeah.
ask Bernie Tam, because I've got to play up game soon, so I can't leave him too
Okay.
much. Right then, nice easy questions. Let's have a look. Okay, we'll both answer this, so you can answer it first. I hear you say that people a lot of the times use their wizards poorly. When is it a good time?
Oh God, that's so situational. But generally, a simple rule of thumb for this is if you use your wizard early, you're using it wrong. Wizards, first and foremost, if you use your wizard in an attrition capacity, you're an idiot. Okay? Now, one time out of 10, you're going to drop a nuke on a cage. You're going to kill 3 out of the 5 players, stun the 4th. Yeah, it's like a tactical missile being dropped on a cage.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work.
No.
At least 50% of those 5 people you've hit are going to be, they're going to resist. So an attrition fireball, unless you're absolutely on top and you're just mopping up what's left, or you've lost the game, is a really, really bad idea. If 2 people have got a wizard, I generally find the person that uses their wizard last is the person in control of that game. So it's almost like a bit of a Cold War standoff thing going on, isn't it? When both people have got wizards. But another rule of thumb is if you're using your wizard first, you're not in control. As far as, again, it's situational, so there may be the odd exception, but generally you're not the one in control of that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to see wizards being held until the second half. But sometimes your hand is forced in it. If your opponent is, strip the ball from you and they're going to score, you've got to zap that player. Look what happened in my playoff game. The turning point was the wizard, the failed wizard. If he'd succeeded with that lightning bolt, because I had the ball, it was in a bit of a precarious position, but Synonymous was all over me right up to that point, and then the failed wizard, everything changed. Suddenly my dice woke up and they started to work, and Durran, yourself and Durran said during the game, it swung on that wizard.
It was a terrible
wizard. It was crazy. It was a bad time that was a bad time to fire the wizard. I'm glad he did, because it's never nice playing against the wizard. And the ruling regarding the wizard stadium or the wizard enhancement is crippling me, to be honest. It's crippling my playoff chances, because I always run with the stadium enhancement for the wizard, the magician shop, purely on the basis that I want to counter wizard. So if I'm at home, with the magician shop, brilliant. I can then play that much more effectively against someone, because generally I will play my wizard better than my opponent. But as it stands, that enhancement is, I could have it pre-playoffs, I believe, but
you could have had it pre-playoffs.
I've just gone with the dirty player, the bribe enhancement. So, but that is a massive bonus. Oh, talk about elves. Elves are overpowered enough, but that is a huge bonus for elves right now. Massive, massive bonus. So but yeah, so wizard. Yeah, there are plenty of ways to badly play a wizard.
Yep.
And not many people play wizards really well. But if you base your game around the use of a wizard, then you need to have a look at your game.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I'll just say it was Gastelmal he was playing, not Cinemouse, before people say, hey, you didn't play Cinemouse.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
I'm just before there. But my rule of thumb is, I mean, I had to use my wizard early against the vampires because it got the ball off me, and
yeah,
that was a good reason to use. Because I knew if I could get the ball off him, then I could score with a bit of fortune, and that's what I did. My rule of thumb with the wizard is this: if you're going to use the wizard, you better have people being able to get the ball and recover it. That's how I use a wizard. And obviously, the longer you have the wizard, the more control you have over your opponent, because he's got to play differently. You know, he might not cage up because you've got that wizard. So quite a lot of the time, a wizard is a psychological effect. If you go hold of a wizard, elves might not stall. They might think, you know what, I ain't going to stall because he's got a wizard. And I mean, I could put a screen or protection cage around him, but if he fireballs and he gets a good few rolls, I could end up with a few dead. Wood elves like not Cinemouse. Pong Hands did in that famous game against Resna Rulyu, where he lost two wood elves. He said to Rez, "Go on, I dare you to fireball my cage." 2 dead wood elves, 1 or 2 more injured, and lost the game on that. So the wizards are good, but some of the wizards I have seen from really experienced players as well has shocked me. And I've noticed most time when wizards are used badly, they lose the game. I was gobsmacked with Gastelum, I must admit. Such a good coach, and when he used that wizard, I was just scratching my head. Me and Duran couldn't understand it. I
was so happy. I was so happy he fired his wizard then, because if he'd kept hold of his wizard, it was changing the way I was playing. Because I was basically playing for the draw in the second half, and I would have. If I was in his situation, I would have absolutely hung on to that wizard to the last turn. And even if I was close to scoring, that's when you fire that wizard.
Yeah.
Make it difficult. Basically strip the ball carrier of the ball. But I think he would acknowledge that he fired it too soon, and ultimately it cost him. But you're absolutely right. How many times do we see a wizard fired with no chances of effectively recovering the ball?
Oh, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I've seen it on both formats, and I just think, why are you doing it? It's just a waste of a wizard. I just don't get it. But hey, so my answer to that is, when you use a wizard, it has to be to either stop someone from scoring, or more time than not, make sure you've got a chance of getting the ball, because that's what you basically use the wizard for. The second one, I don't want to go too much into it because we already have, but is official the ultimate heal and cast was so last year?
No, he's not a heel. He's just a tool bag. There's a big difference between being a heel and being a knob, right? Do you know what? I don't want to. This is really weird. I don't want to rag on official too much. I don't like the guy. I don't like the way he plays. He's got this. It's pretty clear he's got this win at all costs mentality, which I think is bad for the game as a whole. You stop. When does a game stop being a game?
Yeah, exactly.
What with the whole Stuntman DD thing, what would he have done? Would he have actually expected Stuntman DD to not deal with his baby?
Yeah. I mean,
it's nuts, isn't it? And I don't want to rag on official too much. I don't like the guy. I have no interest in getting on with the guy. And he's had for all his broken English, he's had quite a lot to say against me in the alumni chat. So, it strikes me that he's got broken English when it fucking suits him, but he's made a big mistake. Let's hope, and look at me. I made a big mistake a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Maybe official will sort of look in the mirror a little bit, reevaluate what he did, learn from it, which is key in it. So, for me it would be a bit hypocritical for me to rag on the guy too much.
Fair dues.
and but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I will. Do you know what? I will be civil to the guy. I will still wind him up when I beat him.
Yep.
And yeah, when I permed 2 of his CWs, I dedicated that to Stuntman Didi in the alumni chat. I said, that one's for you, Didi. So, but yeah, I think everybody deserves a bit of forgiveness, don't they? And a bit of,
we're all human.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, he's not a good heel.
Your favorite movie ever? So nothing Blood Bowl related, but what is your favorite movie ever?
Oh, Jesus, that's a really good question. Yeah, Jaws. I loved. I know. Do you know what, the Great White Shark reference? I can watch Jaws again and again. And for a Steven Spielberg movie, Jaws was regarded as the first box office, major box office film, blockbuster. And it's really fucking dark. Do you know what I mean? Within the first sort of half hour, 40 minutes, you've got a young teenage girl that gets eaten by a shark and a young boy that gets eaten by a friggin' shark. It's really dark, but yeah, such a great film. So I think pound for pound, that's probably one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
Obviously I've got lots and lots of films that I really enjoy, but yeah, Jaws. It has to be Jaws.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Well, I was thinking myself. There's so many good ones, but I've always liked the Battle of Britain. I'm a big thing of World War II. What a
great film that is! Yeah,
and obviously
amazing film.
The sacrifices they made and everything, and it just if you always feel a bit thingy when people love to kick the English down all the time, and them sort of things, if you want to restore pride in yourself, always watch a film like that. It's a classic. I'm sure my age. I'd love them to bring out. I mean, they did a Dunkirk. I'd love them to bring out a new Battle of Britain because that'd be awesome, and I think it would make a lot of money. So yeah, I would. I mean, I so many films. I mean, Jerry Maguire. That's always one I've loved. Seven. Brilliant film with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. Love that a bit.
Yeah.
I could go on and on, but if there's even Jaws is another one of my favorite ones. If I had to pick one, I'd go with Battle of Britain. It would be very close though, but it's just
great film. Can't argue with that one, Bernie. Can't argue with that.
It's a good one. Will we see, obviously, Cass or yourself ever make a realistic run on the PC?
Good question. Do you know what? I have it on Steam on the PC. Both my sons, my teenage boys have really high spec gaming PCs, and for Christmas they both got these shiny new Nvidia fucking £260 graphics cards. So I could run it on high settings, but do you know what? It's just hours in the day, Bernie. I like the console. I like playing consoles a lot, and it's a lot easier. It's not a case of I couldn't hang on the PC, because I know I could. But yeah, I also like the console community. The Xbox as well. Obviously I'm regarded primarily as a PS4 player, but other than my incident, I liked the community on the Xbox as well as I love the guys on the PS4. I've got a good relationship with most of the guys now. Whereas a year ago, I certainly didn't. So, but yeah, it's just purely hours in the day. It's nothing sinister. I would love to do the Triple Crown. Not win all three, because that would just be fucking insane.
That'd be awesome.
If you did that, then you could write your own Blood Bowl ticket forever. You would be regarded as some kind of Blood Bowl god. But I would love to qualify for all three playoffs on all three formats. God knows how I'm going to do that with being full-time employed and what have you.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the bottom line. It's I haven't got enough hours in the day to devote that kind. If I was a full-time streamer or something, then maybe I could. But this season, I do intend on qualifying for the Xbox and the PS4, and I have done that once before. A few seasons ago, I did qualify for both.
Yeah.
I didn't get anywhere in both, but which is standard fare for me, isn't it? But always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I'm sort of hoping my time will come at some point. But
You just got to believe, aren't you?
Just got to keep grinding, ain't you?
Yeah.
The playoffs. We've said it many times, and you've said it many times. It's so brutal, isn't it? You grind for 6-8 weeks.
Yeah.
Getting your team in the position for the playoffs, and then you're just one dicing away from that 8 weeks being pissed up the Swanee.
Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah. And then it's almost back to the 6-week drawing board. It's so brutal. Why do we do this to ourselves? I actually put in the alumni chat this morning. It's games like these. This is just a ladder game. It's games like these where I question what am I doing?
Yeah. I just love it. I mean, I just like the anticipation, the excitement of the live draw, what we do, the games, and it's both communities, the Xbox and the PS4. They always give us great games. I mean, the Xbox final was just mind-blowing. I loved it. It was just crazy. 10-16 fouling when you could have won the championship. That alone was just crazy.
That's just ridiculous. But
it was, and he got caught, and his bribe didn't work, and it went into overtime. It's just amazing, and that's why I think that's why we do it, because it's just the enjoyment of it. Like I said, I've got him with High Elves with no chance, but it's just been part of the community and part of the shenanigans and enjoying it, and it's great. And like I said, on the Xbox, it's just the same, and they're both good communities. Me personally, could I qualify for the PC? Yes, I think I could. The problem is, I just don't have the time. If I wanted to try and qualify in the PC, I would have to not try and qualify on one of the other two. It's as simple as that. Because
do you know what? If you had an insane 20-game run on the PC, you went sort of 19-1, then chances are you would probably qualify with that team.
Right.
But you're not going to have. Generally, you don't get that kind of run. Even Jimmy, I think he went 18-1-0 with his Wood Elves, and then lost 2 on the bounce. So which is forcing him to play more games.
Yeah.
The World Cup was a joke insofar as the only way you're going to qualify for the World Cup finals was by going 20-0. Well, wow. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
So I thought the World Cup was all a bit of a joke, really, and I think that's why it hasn't been run since in that format, because I think they realised that it just didn't work, the way it was intended to. And on a fun side note, I actually played the PC not long after the World Cup, and I played Guinness, who was the world champion. Yeah, he won the world championship, and he was playing a mid-TV Lizard team, and I was a lower TV Chaos team, obviously, and he conceded within 3 turns.
Wow, that was crazy.
But we started the game, right, and I said, "Oh, hi there, congratulations on winning the World Cup." And he actually, I wish I'd taken a screenshot of it, because a lot of the PC community didn't believe me, right? And he put, "Fuck you, shitbag," right, on the chat, and I'm like, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? Okay, it's going to be like that. And I'm like, that's a bit harsh, mate. I was only being nice. And why don't you go fuck yourself? Give me the proper big bollocks, right, on the chat. Anyway, so then I fucked him. Okay, he conceded. And then he sent me this massive message on the forum, justifying why he was the way he was and basically slating my behaviour. And I'm like, hang on a minute, I just said congratulations on winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically I just sent back this, why don't you just get fucked, mate?
Nice and simple, straight to the point.
So I think the PC, the community on the PC, again, it's larger, so it's going to be more toxic by default, isn't it? By virtue of it being that much larger. But so do you know what? I'm gonna take that one. I made Guinness the world champion concede in 3 turns. So
I mean, it's interesting.
Anyway, so you weren't expecting that.
I've heard that story before.
All right.
I think we bring that out as much as we bring up my Bretonians. We like to live on them things. As my fan base tell me, oh, not that story again. What? You've actually hated that
Yeah.
story?
Shut up about Griff already, Bernie. Shut up about Griff. No one wants to hear it anymore.
Gotta live in the past, especially at my age. Basically, this next one, we might have even answered it, but I'll have to ask you the question. Which has the most toxic community, PS4, Xbox, or PC?
PC, all day.
Or is it whatever Cass is on?
Yeah. Well, arguably I'm on all three. So
Yeah.
No. Do you know what? And by virtue of it being that much more massive, okay, it's the PC. Which stands to reason.
Yeah.
I've sort of I've relaxed a little bit with the Xbox. Again, with a bit of self-reflection, I realised that I was as much the issue with my recent opinion on the toxicity of the Xbox as anyone else. But do you know what? They all three have potential to be quite toxic on occasion. Officials proved that, right? And I think if it remains toxic, if it remains hostile, and I do know that was it Arzawayne? No, was it Arzawayne or no Melogold? Wasn't it? Following that game where he won turn touchdown me, he basically went. I know what he said by virtue of having spoken to you, and because I had him blocked, and you sort of there's a
nice death.
Oh,
Double skulls.
That's lovely.
Oh, he's using block. I missed next game.
That's all right. But yeah, and you were all over that. You were like, hang on a minute, guys. Celebrating a win is one thing, but gloating in that manner is not acceptable. And I since then, I don't think Mello's made a comment towards me at all. Do you know what? It's very simple. If you don't like someone, then leave them alone.
Yeah.
Just let them play. You don't need to interact with them. I got this with iMedia Player at the moment. iMedia Player's, oh, please be my friend. And I got no interest in being this guy's mate. He reported me to the admins a while ago, right? Because I left my mic on in game, and I don't think I was doing much more than calling him a lucky effing bastard. And I actually think he was turning me over. Again, it was a while ago, so I can't remember. He was turning me over, and of course I'm giving it the you lucky bastard bollocks, being a bit salty. And he reported me to the admins, and I ended up getting a warning from you, which was fine. You remember at the time I took it on the chin. I said, fair cop, governor. And but then the other day, he's obviously in the alumni chat saying, we're all one big community. I'm a gangster like you. I'm a player like you. And I'm thinking, fuck off, iMedia. He's going, I'm a freak like you. And I thought, you're nothing like me, mate. You want to be like me. You want to be Calcium Kaz, okay? But keep dreaming, motherfucker. Honestly. And anyway, do you know what? I don't hate iMedia, right? But I got no real interest in being his pal or his mate either,
Yeah.
But I did that did make me laugh in the alumni chat yesterday or the day before. I'm a freak like you, and I'm thinking, behave yourself.
I do like iMedia. I do love him to bits. I do think, he's a good player, but I do love the guy. I really do like him, and I think whatever he says to you is in good intentions. If you don't want to obviously be his mate, that's fine.
He private messaged me, right, and I won't go too much into the private message, but he was quoting Eminem lyrics to me, saying, I love Eminem, and I'm thinking, wow, that's a bit random. I'm thinking, okay.
He said to me, when he said to me, he said something, and then he said, oh yeah, you're in the middle between me and Cass. We should get on. And I was like, this is a disturbing message. We should get it on, and I'm in the middle. And I was like, this concerns me, But I think I think he was a bit drunk. To be fair, that was my impression of the way he was talking. But even if he wasn't, he's funny. I mean, he in the final against Gimlick, he fireballed his own ghoul. In the final, we talked about wizards. He was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna fireball everybody, and it went horribly wrong, and he ended up losing it. But that's just the player he is. I love him to bits. I just can't wait to see. I don't think he'll beat the Irish rounder I really don't. But if he does, a cast
Irish Round is
basis,
playing really
oh
well.
man,
And
he's good.
playing really well.
He's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I'd love to see cast basis our media though. I think that'd be box office.
God, yeah. Do you know what? And and I would like that game as well. And with my Blood Bowl head on, I hope that he does turn over Irish Round.
Well, yeah, I'd rather play media.
More difficult. Yeah. Do you know what? iMedia is a good player, but he doesn't set the Blood Bowl world alight. He's not the kind of player when I bump into him, I think, oh fucking hell, I got a game on here. So. It's. But do you know what? I'm going to soften up with. Again, we're not going to be bosom buddies or nothing, but I will interact with him a little bit, and because it's good fun, isn't it? It's good fun.
He's a good guy. I like Hamid. I've played time for everybody, but I just think he makes me laugh with some random stuff, and
he made me laugh when he was saying, "I'm a freak like you."
I love him. He's a lovely teddy bear. So yeah, he's good. He's a good lad. Have we got anything else before we do the final thing? Oh, best do this. Last question. Best team for a beginner to play.
Orcs. Orcs are easy mode in low TV. Dwarves are very forgiving. The only downside with dwarves is positionally you have to be on the ball. If you're playing someone that knows Blood Bowl, then you can find yourself out of position if you're not playing dwarves well. But with mass block, AV9, you can't go wrong. But I think orcs early doors are easy mode. Lizards early doors, I think, are relatively easy mode as well with the mass strength. But I think for an absolute beginner, I think you can't really go wrong with orcs, to be honest. You have good mobility with the blitzers. You have a bunch of AV9. You've got the strength with the black orcs. So yeah, if somebody was playing for the first time, or even humans are a very balanced team. They're not outstanding at anything, are they? So poor old Tripperis has been turned over there bad, and he, holy shit, Trip, your dice dropped off a cliff towards the end of that game, didn't they? I know he's in chat, but I was sort of watching, and just watching Trip's dice just die in front of him. Wow. Do you know what I mean?
Dear
Jesus! But yeah, I'm orcs. I think above all else, I would go orcs for an absolute beginner.
Yeah. I must admit, I think orcs are pretty good. I think easy mode's obviously chaos. We've already gone through that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Orcs are good. Good armor. Get a few with block strength. I think they're pretty good. Dwarfs are all right, but I think positionally you'll struggle if you're new to the game. Humans do everything, and wood elves are awesome. Wood elves are nice. I think they're quite easy. You just got to learn not to.
Wood elves are just overpowered. Nerf wood elves 2018. They're so OP. It's unbelievable.
I think wood elves dodging on a 2+, scoring mainly on the 2+ is quite easy as well. They're very forgiving if you position them wrong as well, because they're fast, so they can get back into position. The only thing is if you go crazy and just mark everyone up, but you'd probably realise pretty quickly if you do that it's not the best thing to do. So I would go with wood elves.
It's all about that death. With AV7 teams, it's all about that death spiral, isn't it? If you can avoid that death spiral, where you have a run of 3 or 4 games where you're just your best players are getting smashed up, and the wood elves, a lot of the PC players bang on about this rule of 5, and basically it's having 5 developed players, isn't it? And the rest of your team is scrubs. And there's a lot to be said for that. And wood elves do that exceptionally well. 2 war dancers, 2 or 3 catchers developed, and then the rest are scrubs to just take the punishment. And elves do that better than any other team. I think with other teams, especially bash teams, the rule of 5 really, really doesn't work as well. You have to have a more balanced spread of skills certainly on a kill stack chaos team. You can have 1 or 2 players kill stacked up, but do you know what? If they get caught up with, you're screwed, aren't you? So but elves. Yeah, we've already established they're overpowered, and anyone that plays elves deserves to die horrible, mutilating death
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't really got anything else to say about that, to be fair. Right then, so Battle of the Consoles. First season, the PS4 took the crown. Xbox won it the second time round. It's a brand new season, Battle of the Consoles. Basically, Cass will get 60 seconds to answer up to 10 questions, and if he answers more right than the Xbox guy does, then it's the point goes to the PS4. At the end of the season,
God.
we
No pressure
count them
then.
all up, and whoever has the most gets the bragging rights. At the moment, the Xbox have the crown, so it's up to you, Cass, to give him a bit of mighty blow, shall we say? Ooh,
Okay.
matron. Right, so let me get my timer set. Nice and easy, If you get one,
You didn't tell me
you'll be
about this
lucky.
before we went live, you swine.
Hey, you should know that on my shows like this. They should, they're always the same. See, if it was on last week, you'd have been all right. You'd have missed it. But there we go, got that set. Right, are you ready, sir?
Yes, mate.
And I've just dropped my pen, so that's always a good start. Should have had show hands. Right, here we go then. So I'll ask you the first question, then the time will start. Here we go. How much does Zara the Slayer cost?
280. Don't know. I'm guessing.
True or false? High Elf star player Moranion has block and wrestle.
True.
What chainsaw guy can the Amazon have? What's his name?
Max.
Name the star player Witch Elf.
Rosala bollocks. Yeah, Rosala or something like that. Yeah. Ask me a bash question, you swine.
Who costs more, Griff Oberwald or Ice Pet Hammerblow?
Griff.
How much does Morgan Thorpe cost?
400 and something. 440.
Name Bernie's High Elf team in the playoffs.
Oh, the Nuffle Shuffle.
Yay! Right, then,
I got one right. Woohoo!
Yeah. You were so close on a few of these. How much does Zara the Slayer cost? You said 280. It was 270, so that was really unlucky.
I think.
True or false? High Elf star player Moranion has block and wrestle. That is true. What chainsaw guy can the Amazons have? You showed your chaos roots there with Max. It's helmet.
Oh yeah, I thought the human chainsaw's Max, innit? Yeah, I know. So what a fail that was.
Oh dear. Name the star player Witch Elf. You are gonna kick yourself here. You were saying Rosanna and all that stuff. It's Roxana. Roxana.
Oh, that's just my accent. All right. Yeah, I meant Roxana, obviously. All these elf questions, honestly, what
Do you
the
know
hell?
what? These were just why I had ready for the next guest. It just happened to be you. This is a beautiful one. Griff screwed you so many times. Who costs more, Griff Obold or Ice Pelt Hammerblow? Obviously, Griff, you said no. Hammerblow is 10k extra. What shows
you, Griff? Seriously, Griff, right? If I ever met Griff, I would headbutt the guy, then buy him a pint. But honestly, Griff is like the bane of my Blood Bowl life. That guy, seriously.
I was amazed at how my blood. I mean, Griff's so far superior to me anyway, but Hammerblow's more, 10k more. But he's
Bloody
gone 6.
hell.
Yeah.
Ice Pelt who?
Yeah.
Does anyone ever take Ice Pelt Hammerblow? Have you ever seen him induced?
Maybe once in about 2 years. Not much. He doesn't come with block. He's strength 6, yeah. But the best thing about him, he doesn't come with wild animal. That's the only good thing. How much does Morgan Thorpe cost? You was close, but it was 430. But
I thought 430 as well.
I knew he was around there. Obviously, you got the Nuffle Shuffle right, so there you go. That's 3. No, that's 2 right.
That's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the Xbox crowd will love you, I'm sure. The PS4 maybe not so. It's not the lowest score we've ever had. I think 1's the lowest score. So there you go. So you're not that bad. So there we go. So the show's done. I am now gonna grab a drink or something because I've got a playoff game to play on the Xbox. So my son will be delighted, who's been on the Xbox for all this time. He's back on my PS4 again. So people who was asking me when will I when I'm starting my qualifying run on the PS4. I've already said 40 hours before the finish because, hey, that's how I roll these days. Yeah, it should be good. I'll probably try and stream it maybe on the Xbox if nobody else will. I'll see if anyone on the Xbox can stream it. It would be a lot easier. But my poor Underworld against them OP Elves next. So, yeah. So basically the news is obviously Kazum Kass has decided to stop exiling himself from the Xbox. He will return next week, probably after his playoff game. And obviously he has come out and apologised over Space Match, what I think was fantastic. We've done everything in this show. It's been a mammoth show. I said it would. It's almost knocking on to 2 hours. Anybody who hasn't subscribed on YouTube, please do, because it tells you when everything's coming on and all the things are in there. I know there's a lot of people who watch, but they don't subscribe. Please subscribe. It's free. Just do it. Just please me. Please. And obviously, I'll tell you one thing I am thinking of doing. My son's been saying, Bernie, or Lee, why are you not streaming on YouTube? Because you do everything else on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my god, it's completely different. It's not. But when you've got your habit of going on Twitch, it's nice and easy. I understand Twitch.
Yeah. Do you know what? My eldest son streams on YouTube, and he swears by it. So maybe it's something we need to look into, Bernie. But,
I think we might have to, yeah. Because
I'll have a word with my son because he gets like 200 viewers. He pairs it up on For Honor. Yeah, he's
there you go. He's proper
world. He's properly world class on For Honor. The only game I can actually beat any of my sons at is Blood Bowl, and that's by virtue of them not playing it. So, but he's tearing it up on For Honor. He's in a few sort of tournaments and stuff, but we'll have to look into that, Bernie. But Bernie, best of luck in your playoff game,
cheers,
mate.
Buddy.
Unfortunately, streaming I would offer to stream it myself, but it'd be a bit cheeky because I've been off the Xbox for a while. So I will certainly be in chat cheering you on, mate.
Yeah. Oh, bros, I got number 1 on For Honor. I'll tell you something about For Honor there. But yeah, it's something we'll have to have a look at. I mean, I don't mind streaming on Twitch, but the guys are saying YouTube's the way to go. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But there you go. Anyway, guys, I've got to go because my opponent's been waiting, and it's not fair to make him wait any longer. And we'll see you next week. And can the Xbox beat that absolute superb score of 2? We will see. We will
Sorry,
see.
Ps4.
Sorry, I'll get Teddy Thomas next week. He's an anorak. He'll get about 10 out of 10. So we'll be safe. We know what's happened when it goes wrong. We send for Teddy. He gets it done. But there you go. Thanks again for being on the show. It's been amazing. It's been action packed.
You're welcome, mate.
We've almost done 2 hours. We got to see a full show full match where Tripper's got diced. I don't think I've ever seen that. V-Power probably totally outplayed him. I wasn't really paying attention, but I hope you all enjoyed watching the game. Listen to our wonderful show, and there wasn't that many F-bombs being used. Well done to both of us. And that's it. Thanks again. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.